You step into the ancient city. Silence echoes throughout the spider-webbed corridors. Shriekers hum beneath your feet. Then the ground tremors. And from the darkness, a massive blind figure emerges. The Warden. The ancient cities, introduced in Minecraft's 1.19's Wild update, sit deep within the deep dark biome, usually around Y level -51. They're some of the most elaborate structures ever added to Minecraft. Sprawling ruins with deliberate symmetry, strange architecture, and haunting silence. They're constructed almost entirely from deep slate. This suggests durability, a design intended to endure longer than anything else. Their architecture resembles Gothic castles, featuring long hallways, large rooms, and central shrines. However, they show no signs of daily life. There are no beds, kitchens, or agricultural systems. They were not designed for habitation. The floors are covered with wool carpets, which effectively dampen sound from reaching Skulk's sensors. In other words, the architects of the city understood how Skulk operated and made efforts to mute movement. It feels less like an aesthetic choice and more akin to insulation. At the heart of every ancient city lies a massive structure many players call the portal frame, a giant rectangular arrangement of reinforced deep slate, too large for any normal doorway. Its arch-like shape resembles nether portals, but no function has ever been revealed. Some say it's decorative, others believe it's unfinished, but lore theorists argue it's central, the reason the city exists. And then there's the Warden. Summoned through Skulk's Shriekers, the Warden is Minecraft's most fearsome mob. It isn't just strong, it's nearly unkillable. With more health than the Ender Dragon, it doesn't rely on sight but vibration and smell, hunting players through sound. Mojang themselves said they designed it not as a boss, but as a force of nature, a punishment for daring to tread too deep. But this raises the question, if the cities are abandoned, if no builders remain, why does the Warden still linger? What if the Warden is a prisoner? The default assumption is simple. The Warden protects the cities from intruders, but there are cracks in this idea. If the Warden exists to defend inhabitants, where are they? The cities are empty, derelict ruins swallowed by Skulk. Why would the protector remain if his people vanished? Shriekers don't just passively summon the Warden, they do so after repeated activations. Almost like a security system escalating a lockdown. Each shriek is an alarm, until finally the Warden arrives. That feels less like defense and more like containment protocol. The city's main feature resembles an ominous altar. Its reinforced materials are unbreakable, even more durable than obsidian. What is the purpose of such enduring construction if not to contain something? Some players have observed that the shape itself resembles the Warden's ribcage, hinting at a symbolic link between the creature and the edifice. This could clarify the peculiar duality, a being too powerful to defeat, yet concealed so deeply that most players may never encounter it. The Warden wasn't intended for us. It was designed for whatever is trapped beyond that barrier. Lore theorists across Reddit, YouTube, and forums have spun countless interpretations of the deep dark. Several stand out. The Skulk as an infection is one. One popular theory sees Skulk not as a decoration, but as disease. Like a fungal plague, it spreads where death occurs. Cities aren't just abandoned, they're consumed. This ties the Warden to the contagion, a symptom of something catastrophic. Then there's the failed portal experiment. MapHat and others propose that the portal was exactly that, an interdimensional gateway. Builders sought to escape, or power from another realm, but in opening it, they unleashed Skulk and the Warden. The experiment backfired, leaving only ruins and a guardian that outlived its creators. Then there's the evidence from Disc 5. Minecraft's Music Disc 5, which were assembled from fragments found in ancient city chests, contain chilling audio, footsteps, scraping stone, a portal-like hum, then shrieking. Some fans argue it literally records the builder's downfall, evidence they tried to open the frame and paid the price. All these ideas share a theme. The ancient city was never a haven. It was a battleground, an experiment, or a tomb. But what about the mechanics and world-building support? Game mechanics themselves support the prison theory. For example, the Shrieker summons. Instead of directly attacking, Skulk Shriekers escalate threat levels. This is eerily similar to a prison security system. First, an alarm, then lockdown, then release of the ultimate deterrent, the Warden. Catalyst spreads Skulk wherever something dies. Imagine an ancient battle where thousands perish. The Skulk we see today might literally be fossilized echoes of those deaths, like tombstones bleeding into the terrain. The Warden's darkness is another thing. Because unlike other mobs, the Warden floods players with darkness. Symbolically, this feels like suppression, dimming light, crushing hope. A creature that enforces silence and shadows, as if commanding us, don't wake what sleeps here. Developers stated the Warden isn't meant to be killed. It drops no loot. It isn't a boss. Taken together, the mechanics paint a chilling picture. The ancient city isn't an abandoned home. It's a lock, and the Warden is a living padlock. So guys, picture this. Long ago, the ancient builders flourished. They construct towering monuments, established villages, erected temples, and fortified strongholds. However, their insatiable quest for knowledge led them deeper underground. Below the Earth's surface, they encountered Skulk, an unusual pulsating substance that thrived on death. This mysterious force captivated their interests. Picture redstone, but animated. They engineered machines to harness its energy. Skulk sensors emerged as instruments for detecting vibrations. Perhaps the Shrieker blocks served as primitive alarms. They did not regard the Skulk with fear. They believed they had it under their control. In the heart of the city, they erected a monumental structure, a reinforced framework. Was it a portal? A generator? A confinement? The answer remains unknown, yet its enduring presence implies purpose. They intended it to endure indefinitely. Then, something emerged. The first Warden, a horror-born Skulk, blind but sensing every heartbeat. It wasn't hostile at first. Maybe it was studied, even revered. Some civilizations worship dangerous things, believing reverence can tame power. But over time, the truth emerged. The Warden wasn't a servant, it was an enforcer. It came when Shriekers cried, silencing movement, extinguishing intruders. But what it was truly silencing may not have been people. It may have been the thing behind the frame. The builders realized too late. They weren't its masters. They were its jailers. The city collapsed. Those who survived escaped. The marks of their conflict linger, visible in the sculptures that cover the ruins. And the Warden? It persisted, tied not to a group, but to its confinement, an unyielding barrier waiting to be awakened. Myths faded into obscurity. Above, fresh civilizations emerged, oblivious to what lay beneath, until we arrived. The players. When we activate a Shrieker, we aren't merely summoning an enemy, we're unsealing a barrier. We're compelling the prison to recall its purpose, and the Warden responds. So why does this theory matter? Because it gives the deep dark coherence. Without it, the ancient city is just cool ruins. With it, the city becomes a story. The layout makes sense. Vast halls and silent corridors built not for comfort, but to isolate, to insulate, to contain. The mechanics feel intentional. Shriekers, catalysts, sensors, all part of a prison system, not decoration. The reinforced blocks gain purpose, not random, but permanent seals. And the Warden gains depth, not simply a monster, but a jailer, a creature with a role older than any player's arrival. Minecraft rarely gives us direct lore. Instead, it scatters fragments, ruins, discs, mysterious mechanics which let us piece together the picture. The Warden as prisoner theory fits that tradition perfectly. Never confirmed, but hauntingly possible. And maybe that's the point. Mojang leaves gaps so we can tell the stories. Stories like this, where a protector might secretly be a prisoner, and an abandoned city might not be abandoned at all. What do you think? Is the Warden truly a guardian, or a prisoner bound by something worse? Did the ancient builders seal away a dark dimension, or doom themselves trying to open it? If this exploration gave you chills, leave a like, subscribe for more Minecraft lore deep dives, and share this with a friend who dares to venture into the deep dark.